The Last of Us Part 2 leaks. Yes, Troy Baker speaks. We also have an update on Doom Eternal and Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So, guys, you may be a little bit new to me talking about games. It's been a highly requested thing for some time, and why not? I'm going to be talking about a little bit of games here and there. So if you want to stay tuned for that, then hey, hit subscribe and also turn your bell notifications on. And please do give this video a like, actually. That will really help me out because, hey, YouTube sucks at the moment. But hey, let's dive right into it. Okay, so we got a new update on Doom Eternal. If you didn't know, I've actually played Doom Eternal here on the channel. I've played a good few episodes of it now. Really enjoyed the game. For those, again, that are pretty fresh and new here, I did Doom 2016 for all of my Patreons. Side note, if you want to support the channel, because a bit of a trying time for everyone, I guess, I've got a Patreon link down below. Don't worry, channel will always be free, but there's additional content that you get over on Patreon. Now, so we got some brand new updates. Obviously, we know that they were always going to expand stuff. We knew that they were going to give new things here and there. And this is about that specifically. We're not going to talk about the kind of controversy with Mick Gordon. It's not really relevant to this, although I guess that's another story in and unto itself. But let's get into this report here. So it says, after a slight delay, which otherwise would have seen the game's release in November of last year, which is, I guess, kind of in part to do with the controversy, because there's some rumours to say that the reason the delay was to do with music, which is so dumb. So dumb. But of course, Doom Eternal finally hit store shelves in March, and it just smashed it. It absolutely obliterated it, and what a glorious game it is. A few people don't like the platforming. I myself really like it. Now, of course, Bethesda nor ID Software have revealed exactly when this additional content will be releasing, but they have just recently shared some information that will give players a better idea of what to expect from the upcoming update. So, it's quite generous actually. The update sounds quite good. So according to the developers, they are currently working hard on update 1 for all of the platforms, and these include optimizations, bug fixes, and a new campaign. I have not experienced any bugs specifically. I know that there are some speedrunners that have blitzed through some bugs here and there, which are hilarious. Then I've also watched streams with the developers, and they don't seem to care that speedrunners have done that. In fact, a lot of them are like applauding them, which is quite comical, really, and good show. Good for them. It's nice to see developers kind of taking it in their stride. Now, this could also confirm that the Nintendo Switch version will launch either alongside Update 1 or prior to its release, although the developer doesn't mention this at all. So, Bethesda, the developer, reveals that players will be able to crank up Doom Eternal's difficulty level with empowered demons, and the way this will work is actually rather interesting. So, whenever a player is killed in the single player campaign, any demon that killed the player is revealed to be transported to another player's game. Although this demon will now be empowered and will be even more difficult to kill, this will give the demon slayers health and ammo, as well as bonus XP for in-game events. That's quite an interesting mechanic. I'm sure most people can agree with that. Now, there have been some issues addressed in both battle mode and single player mode, and this is all thanks to Bethesda and ID Software listening to feedback from players. It's a miracle when developers do that, but kudos to Bethesda and ID. So both of these modes will now meet expectations satisfactorily, and the developers have not revealed when Update 1 will become available, but they did share some sneak peek screenshots, and here's the screenshots. Love it. Again, yeah, awesome. Absolutely. I love this game. I can't get enough of it. I do think it's a fantastic game. I will probably continue playing some of it here on the channel. So again, hit subscribe if you want some of that. Now, okay, hot on the agenda is, of course, The Last of Us Part 2. Now, there's obviously been a lot of leaks about that. I myself have done some videos on it. I've had them copyright claimed. It's been a big joke, and Naughty Dog and Sony both will have some kickback from this, I think, permanently. But we're not here to really talk about that specifically. So Troy Baker, obviously the voice of Joel, has come out, and I will say this is a double, a twist on what he said before, because this man did come out very specifically and say, you need to play it with an open mind. but I think he's been told by Naughty Dog to come out and say these things. And I just think, yeah, it's fairly evident that he has, because, you know, it is quite a 180 turn. Now, on the game leaks, he said, and I quote, "Oh, dude, it doesn't matter. Look, if you think that that game can be ruined by a couple of screenshots," well, no, hours of footage was revealed, but, you know, whatever. Really, a studio with 30 plus years of development, with so many awards under their belt, they can't even put them in all-in-one trophy closet. Not really that. You know, there's a time for people to fall. Not, come on, bad argument. This is the biggest, most ambitious game that they've ever done. You really think that that experience can be undone by a couple of screenshots? Think 6 years of development can be undone by that. It's a game. It's a game. You have to experience it. That's all I'm going to say. I think this is a massive double turn to really feel like this is genuine. You know, I feel like this is a disingenuous comment. And I feel inevitably he probably would have been asked to say it, or he probably would have been, I don't know, coerced by financial. Maybe he gets a kickback from the game sales. I don't know. I don't know how his contract works, but I just think it's I don't know. It's a bit shitty, really, isn't it? And inevitably, he's clearly not that clued up on what's been revealed, because basically everything was revealed. But anyway, there you go. What do you think about that? And also, what do you think about Doom Eternal? Have you played Doom Eternal? Do you like it? Me, return to single-player campaign. Hell yes, I'm all for Doom Eternal. And then they still have the multiplayer as well. Last of Us, my thoughts have been well documented on that. But let's get on to Assassin's Creed Valhalla. It stated that it will not be the longest game in the series, according to the head of communications. Interesting. So, the article states as follows. Ever since Ubisoft unveiled Assassin's Creed Valhalla, fans of the popular Assassin's Creed series have been talking non-stop about the upcoming title. Fortunately, Ubisoft has released a bunch of information for players to sink their teeth into, which has made them even more excited for the game. The hype for this game is actually really, really high. And it's nice to see the sort of Viking trend on the rise. I myself am actually making a movie. If you didn't know, I'm making a Viking-inspired, so again, it's kind of funny here, a Viking-inspired horror fantasy film, which you can find a link to down below in the description box. I'm crowdfunding it because, of course, independent films inevitably offer more creative freedom and well, it's just creative control, really. So check it out. You may want to support it. And there's going to be a big update video on that coming soon. But anyway, it states as follows. The previous entry in the series, however, got some backlash initially. One of the reasons seemed to be the fact that Assassin's Creed Odyssey was too big for its own sake, and this made some players feel like the game was a little bit unfocused, which makes sense. Like I really like sandbox games, but well, inevitably you can't play them for playthroughs because they are very unfocused. I could spend hours just wandering around Fallout. Like I just don't do anything for days sometimes, just because it's fun to piss around. But they're not fun to watch because they are, as this article states, unfocused in some regards. Now, with that said, players and fans of the series still agree on Assassin's Creed Odyssey being a phenomenal game, but it was still worth voicing their opinions and constructive criticism for the developers at Ubisoft to take some notes. As a matter of fact, Ubisoft did listen to fans, and this is one of the reasons why Assassin's Creed Valhalla will not be as big nor as long as its predecessor. Now, normally, that would be a red flag. We're shortening the game. We're not giving you as much value for money as you had before. But this sounds positive. Now, he states, this is Malek Tefa, recently revealed on his personal Twitter account, FYI, it won't be the longest or biggest game in the series. They addressed criticism on this one. I think that's good. I don't see anything wrong in that at all. There was some comments, and I did a video on it, about the Assassin's Creed Valhalla gameplay trailer reveal at Xbox. Yeah, it wasn't really, was it? But I think they're doing everything right. It looks interesting, I guess. Again, I really do like the fact that the Viking thing is on the rise. It's cool. Vikings are cool. It's nice to see them kind of rise back to prominence again, and hopefully we'll see a little bit more. But anyway, what do you think about this kind of roundup of game news? Please do let me know down below in the comment section. If you're new here, do hit subscribe, stay up to date on the world of pop culture, movie news, and a little bit of gaming news by hitting the subscribe button. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. I've been Mr. H. Take care.